Hi.
Yo, congratulations.
Thank you.
How excited are you? What are the emotions right now?
I'm so excited. This was like the one song. I mean, I'm excited about all my songs. But, like, this was the one song that I was definitely the most excited about. So, I'm
Why?
hyped. Huh?
Why was this one? I mean, I can imagine because we'll get into how crazy the song is, but why was this the one you were like so stoked about?
I don't know. I think this was, well, we made this one pretty early on too. Like, this was one of the first ones we did. And I don't know. I think like this was the production that like stunned me, and I was like, holy shit, we need to do everything like this. I don't know if I can cuss. I'm like, holy.
You can cuss.
But yeah, I think this was just the production that really like blew me away and made me realize like this is like exactly what I want. And I don't know, I was just excited for the world to hear it since it is so different from everything that I've done.
Isn't that a great feeling when like your idea of what you want things to sound like and where you want to take it and who you want to be just totally lines up with something that a producer sends you?
Yes, it's so exciting. It's amazing.
So did the idea for Scissorhands, and it's a great message behind the song, and there's some real thought that was put behind the sort of the idea behind it, and you can tell that story, but was that, what came first? Was it the sound and the beat, and then you heard that, you thought of that idea, or did you build the beat off of the idea?
No, so we actually built the beat off of the idea. So the production was completely different when we were like in the studio. But I explained kind of how I wanted it to sound. Like I wanted it to be really crazy, and I wanted like the scissor sounds, which are actually forks. And I like wanted it to be crazy, but it wasn't crazy when we were in the studio. So then when we left and he sent it back to us like 2 days later, it was insane. Like it was so crazy and it blew me away. And then later on we added that beginning, that intro part, because I was like, at first it started out kind of flowy and I was like, no, this song needs to come in hard. Like we cannot start it out flowy. Like it needs to be insane, like right off the bat. So, and then that happened.
Was there any like self-consciousness or reservation with going this heavy in terms of sound? You know, I think I love it, but I think it would scare some people off, especially if, you know, you put out, you know, let's say more pop-leaning music before in your career. Was there anything that scared you about going heavier?
Well, I mean, I just released a Screamo song before this one, so
right.
I think any fears I had are now gone, kind of, because
That's cool.
I think that was like the most far out one that I've done and that I am doing. So I don't know, like there's definitely some fear just of like, I hope people like it and like understand, but at the same time it's like, if you don't like it, that's totally fine, because I know the stuff I was doing was so different. So like I get it, but this is like what I'm gonna do now, and this is what I'm gonna continue doing. So it'll be cool to see like new people come and like the same ones that have followed me like stay with me. But
right.
I mean, it's just taste at the end of the day, so if you don't like it, it's totally fine, but I like it. So
dude, this shit is like next level. When I heard Scissorhands, like, no, seriously, I'm not even just being like, you know, kind, like, this is crazy. Like nothing sounds like this.
Thank you.
So excited. Because I thought Knife Under My Pillow was cool, right? And I was like, well, this is a cool song. I really dig this song. That's when we reached out and set it up. And then when I heard Scissorhands, I was like, oh shit. Like that was a real oh shit moment for me of like, this is crazy. But
thank you.
All well deserved, of course. Let's get to some of these fan questions. As you know, a bunch of your fans send in questions, and they asked some pretty good ones. This comes from Lindemann Addict. Do you think you found your true music style while creating this EP?
Yes, I'm definitely still finding myself, but I think for the most part, yeah, definitely. I finally feel like very confident in everything I'm doing, and I don't know, musically I just feel really confident right now, and I definitely, this is like what I'm going to continue doing. Like I'm not going to go back to pop. So if you like my pop music, I'm sorry, but yeah, I like what I'm doing now. So
where's that confidence coming from? Is it coming from your personal life and then bleeding over into the music, or is it the reverse? Is it coming from music?
It's definitely reverse. I feel very confident in my music, and like in my sessions and stuff, like I feel really confident because I feel like I actually know what I want to do now.
Right.
Which is like bleeding over to my personal life a little bit, but it's definitely more in music. Like I just feel really confident right now.
Finding your voice in the studio, speaking up more.
Yeah, definitely. Just like speaking up, not afraid to say what I want to say. Like I used to be really embarrassed to talk about certain things, or like I didn't want to sound stupid, so I wouldn't say something. But now I kind of just like whatever. Like if I sound stupid, it's fine because it might be cool. So
yeah, absolutely. All right, this comes from Maggie Goth Princess. How would you describe Paranoia? Of course, if you're watching this, you don't know Paranoia, the EP. It's out in January, right?
yeah.
And how would you describe that?
I would say it's definitely like pop, punk, rock, dark vibes. I mean, it's called Paranoia because it's centered around like my paranoia. Every song has like something to do with my paranoia, and that's like why it like all ties together. But it's definitely all rock and it's all darker. So yeah.
Right on. Where do you think your paranoia comes from?
I don't know. I was talking to my mom about this the other day, and I was like, like I remember when I first started feeling paranoid, like I was in my apartment, my first apartment. My mom was like, no, you've been paranoid since you were like a little girl. Like you would make me stay in your room until you fell asleep, and like you would always be so scared. You would like make sure your windows were locked and like all this stuff when I was little. And that like triggered something in my brain that I didn't even remember.
Right.
And I used to be so terrified of being kidnapped when I was little. Like that was my biggest fear as a child. I watched way too many scary movies, but that was my biggest fear. So I don't know. I just feel like throughout the years, like it's just continued to just get worse and worse now that like I'm older and real life is like I know about real life,
Right.
which makes it worse. But I don't know. I think I've just had it forever, I guess.
Isn't that funny though? Like the point you make, like because I've gone through that too, and I'm sure like anybody watching this, like we tell ourselves stories about ourselves, but then if you go to your parents, like they'll tell you the real story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, this started with my apartment, but really, like mom truly knows best sometimes.
Yeah, I didn't even remember.
Crazy. Maggie's Heart says, do you have any collabs planned for the future? And if not, who would you like to collab with?
I don't have any at the moment planned, but I would love to collab with people. I would love to collab with like Kellen Quinn from Sleeping with Sirens.
Of course.
I don't know, MGK. I want to do something like weird. I want to do something with like Grimes or Ashniko too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Their song rules. You know their song Cry?
Yes, so good.
Rules.
So good. No, I know. I would love to do something. There's so many people that I would love to work with.
Yeah.
But hopefully.
You and Kellen's vocals would sound awesome together.
Yeah, I agree.
Really cool.
I agree.
All right, this comes from amwag_2012. Which songs from Paranoia took the longest and the shortest time to make?
The shortest was Love Songs. That one was like literally took 5 minutes, which is crazy. And then the longest one was probably Scissorhands, because the first verse we kept going back and forth about because like I hated it, and then we did another session and we got like a new one, and then I hated it, and then like we got I think it was 3. We had 3 different verses, and then I finally liked this one that we have now, but that one took a while, and the production around that one took a while too.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah.
Let's get to Lauren Rhodes. Which song from Paranoia do you feel most connected to, and why? I'm sure you can feel connected to all of them.
All of them, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, definitely all of them. But I would say probably Different, just because that one's like personal, because that was like that one has a crazy story. But also I would say Love Songs, because That one's like really personal, and I wasn't even gonna put that one out, but everyone I showed it to was like, you have to put the song out. And I don't know, I don't even like to listen to it. It makes me feel really weird because it's so like gushy and lovey, and like
Right.
it makes me feel so weird to listen to.
What does that feel like when you write a song, you know, about your personal life or about people in your life, and you know they're going to hear it? Then you know, like the world and all these strangers are going to hear it. Is that just incredibly nerve-wracking?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's so personal, and it's also like if someone hates it, it's like
Yeah, right.
you know, because it's like at the end of the day, like I said, it's taste, so it's fine. But like if they hate it, it's just like it's so personal. Like you hate it, really.
Right.
But I don't know. It's like sometimes it gives me a confidence boost because I'm like, ew, gross. Like I don't want to listen to the song, but then everyone else is like, no, it's so amazing. It's so good, and then I'm like, oh, okay, like maybe it's good.
Yeah, you got to trust the fans sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, this comes from Jaguar Galinsky 22. Are there any cool visual concerts for this EP? I mean, everyone's doing this nowadays, and I feel like they're getting cooler and cooler. Are you thinking about doing anything like that, like a virtual show or virtual performance?
I would love to. I mean, we've been talking about doing some stuff. We don't have anything super like set in stone yet, but we've definitely been in talks about doing something. So hopefully, I would love to.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
All right, this comes from JNK Off. What was it like to collaborate with Sick Brain?
It was sick. I mean, she's like literally my best friend in real life. So, there wasn't really much to it. Everyone's like, oh, what's the backstory behind that? It's funny because there's not really one. I mean, we just hang out every day, and she makes cool music. And I was like, dude, we should just make a song together. She was like, cool. So I texted my producer, and we just like went in and did it. And she's really talented. Like her songwriting, she's just a really good songwriter, and like she's really talented, and she can scream really well too, which is so cool. But yeah, she's sick. She's just really cool.
What's it like working with friends or, you know, people that you just have a personal rapport with versus like, you know, somebody that you're just collaborating with professionally? Do you notice a big difference?
So I've worked with like Brandon before, my boyfriend. So like, I guess, I don't know. I feel really nervous to work with him. I don't know why. I think it's just because like I care so much about what he thinks about me. But like with friends, I don't know. I like it because it's like they already know me, so they know like what I would and wouldn't say, or they know like what I'm going through that week, or like I don't know. They know me more personally, so I think it's easier because people that you just meet like obviously don't know you, so they don't know how you talk, or like they don't know what you say or whatever.
Yeah.
It's definitely different.
Yeah. All right, let's get to Adeline.Oz. What inspired your change in sound musically? I love that you shifted from pop to all pop rock. And now you're probably heavier than pop rock. But what shifted it?
I mean, I've always wanted to make like alternative music. But being a young 16-year-old in the industry, with the look I had at the time, I feel like it just didn't make sense to a lot of people. So it kind of just got pushed back, and I started doing pop music, and I feel like it was cool for like a little bit, but it never felt like me. And it felt like I was kind of like a character, and me and my character were two very different people. So in 2017, I feel like I had this really big shift. And I started dressing how I wanted to dress and like being who I wanted to be, but I was still kind of making pop music. And a lot of people then started asking like, why are you making pop music? Like your style and your music sound like two different people. And that's when I started really realizing that like, yeah, they are two different people. Like I'm a character, it feels like sometimes. So I just finally was like, I can't make pop music anymore. Like I want to make the music I want to make. Like I need to do what I want to do. And then we did Friends Go, and it was cool, but it still felt a little bit like it didn't feel perfect, you know? So then when I started really writing more, and like with Scissorhands and Knife Under My Pillow, like those songs feel so me, and I just finally feel like so confident in myself, and I don't know, it just definitely feels like me. So I kind of just went for it. Like, I was really nervous because obviously, like, they're very different genres. So I didn't know how it was gonna really turn out. But I mean, it's cool, and we only live once, you know, YOLO or whatever.
Totally.
So I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. I just need to do it.
Yeah. Well, and you make a great point. I think sometimes fans don't understand is like when you are so young or any age and you're starting out in the industry, there's not a ton of say you have. You kind of have to play the role that they're going to give you, and you just, you know, you want to get on the field. You want to get, you know, you want to put music out, and that this is the entryway. This is the entryway. But it's cool to see you come out the other side of all that, you know, authentic.
Yeah, definitely.
Totally. All right, we'll get to a couple more and then let you go, Maggie. This comes from pumpkinpie.mags. How old were you when you released, or when you realized, I mean, you wanted to get into music?
I was really young. Well, I used to want to act and sing. Like, I wanted to act way before I wanted to sing. So I always knew I wanted to be like an entertainer. And then I think I realized I wanted to sing. I want to say like middle school was when I really realized I like singing. Like, I love to act, but like singing, like I want to be on stage. Like, I want to be in front of big crowds of people.
What were you listening to in middle school?
I was listening to like Sleeping with Sirens, Taylor Swift. I had a very wide music, whatever. I was listening to a bunch of stuff. 303, a lot.
Yeah.
I loved 303.
Back.
Yeah. But I think that's when I really realized that I just like really wanted to be on stage. Like, I wanted to be in front of crowds. So.
Right on. All right, two more. Anne Lind, what is your biggest dream at the moment? Is there anything you're looking forward to, or something like you're looking to accomplish, or anything on the horizon?
I have so many dreams. I mean, I want to like go on my own tour really bad, like headlining tour. I want to perform at festivals. I want to be in a movie really bad. I don't know. I don't know. I have like a lot of dreams just all over the place. Like, but I also really want to like buy my parents a like farmhouse one day, because my mom wants to live on a farm so bad. But she's just like waiting for her retirement. So
yeah,
it'd be cool to just like be able to do that.
That's dope. All right, final question. This is actually a great one. BHC Lily asks, if you could talk to young Maggie, what would you tell her?
Oh, I would tell her to shut up. I would literally tell her, stop being so angry at the world and just focus on yourself. And yeah, honestly, like, I was literally just talking to my producer about this the other day, and it's like, I have beef with my younger self. Like, if she was a person just in a same room with me, like, I would not like her. We are such different people. But yeah, and I would just tell myself to stop being so hard on myself all the time. Like, just enjoy the things that are happening in the moment, and stop like resisting so much. Like, stop trying to. I think I was trying so hard to be like edgy and like spontaneous, and I was like angry, so that turned into some like really, I was just negative, I think. So I would just tell myself to like enjoy life and stop trying to grow up and just have fun. Like, you're a kid, you know.
Totally. Are you enjoying life right now?
I am really enjoying life. Despite, I mean, we're in a pandemic.
Of course. Outside of that.
Yeah, but I mean, I definitely do enjoy life now a lot. I think I'm finally in a good spot.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Music sounds great, so it's translating for sure, Maggie.
Thank you.
And thanks for hopping on live. Congratulations on Scissorhands, and I can't wait to see. How many more releases do you know until we get the full EP?
I think like one.
Okay.
Don't take my word for that. I'm always wrong when it comes to stuff like this, but
totally.
I think one.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, we'll keep in touch. We'll talk soon, Maggie, but thanks.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for having me.